Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today are Dallas Mavericks fans finally starting to see Nico Harrison's vision? What are we talking about? Well, last week after the Dallas Mavericks selected Cooper Flagg #1 overall in the NBA draft, Nico Harrison was speaking with the media, and he was asked, hey, what was your reaction when you guys won the lottery? And Nico Harrison said, I guess fortune favors the bold. And everyone was like, what? You actually think that your bold decisions, your bold trades resulted in you guys getting karma and winning the NBA lottery? Like, what are you talking about, dude? He also was asked too, like, hey, now that the Dallas Mavericks fans have Cooper Flagg as their new franchise player, do you think this is going to make fans less upset about you for trading away Luka? And then Nico Harrison responded to that and was like, I think fans are finally now starting to see my vision. And everyone was like, what? This guy is crazy. This guy might actually be a crazy person. What is he talking about? These are just very arrogant, delusional comments. Fans were destroying him for it. And Zach Lowe went on his show this past weekend, and he demolished Nico Harrison for saying, hey, fans are now seeing my vision. So let's go ahead and listen to what Zach had to say about that, and then we'll react.
Asking the Mavericks. I just want to say this. I don't want to hear Nico Harrison talking about how now fans are starting to see the vision. Because the vision was 2 quarters against the Houston Rockets before Anthony Davis got hurt. My God, they're clinging to those 2 quarters. And now it's Cooper Flagg. And there is no vision unless he's an oracle of some kind. And then the whole NBA is in trouble because a supernatural being has entered the league. There's no vision that includes, you know what we're going to do? We're going to lose in the play-in and win the lottery in the Cooper Flagg year. Not the Zachary Ricochet year, the Cooper Flagg year, with a 1.8% chance of doing it. And then the fans will see my vision. Then the fans will see. Just no more vision talk. That's all. The team is good. It's a good team. PJ Washington's extension eligible. That's a sneaky one to keep an eye on. They need a point guard, some point guard, any point guard. They're really only going to have the baby mid-level exception to get that player, and that will take them further into the tax. So multiply whatever they spend by whatever the multiplication is for the tax. It's a lot of money. We bought an NBA team. We have to spend so much money. I don't think they're a title contender. Kyrie Irving's coming back from an ACL tear, and we might not see him at his best. We're going to see him this year. We might not see him at his best till 26, 27. But this is a very good team. Cool. I would just quiet on the vision talk. Speaking of.
To add to the part about the championship contender, I saw a lot of people bringing up that now, like, oh my God, the Dallas Mavericks are title contenders now with Cooper Flagg. This is this thing that we do in the NBA sometimes where it's like we look at certain pieces on a roster and we like those pieces. We like them all individually, but then we don't take a second to think like, hey, how are all these guys going to mesh together? What is going to be their closing five? Like, I think the Dallas Mavericks right now they have a lot of really good pieces on their team, but I feel like they need to like part with some of them. Like, I don't think now that they have, because I think Cooper Flagg can be a 3 or a 4 on the NBA level. So if you're thinking about like a closing lineup for them, you're probably still closing with Anthony Davis at the 5. I think that makes either Gafford or Lively expendable. Now that PJ Washington's going to be basically 100% bench player, does that make him expendable on this team too? I also still don't, even at full strength, I don't like the guards and the way that the Dallas Mavericks could potentially play make, because like if you go back to the 23-24 season, those playoffs when Dallas went against OKC, Kyrie had a really tough series. I think he only averaged like 16 or 17 points per game in that series, and they were just throwing Lou Dort on him. They were throwing Cason Wallace on him. I mean, now they have Alex Caruso they can throw on him. They just have a bounty of defenders that they could just throw on Kyrie Irving. And if Kyrie, like this whole thing, if Dallas is ever going to be a title contender with its current core, it's going to be riding on Kyrie Irving's shoulders. And I just don't know how he's going to be post ACL entering his, mid to late 30s. So I always just thought that was always kind of silly. But to getting to like the point with Zach here and talking about Nico Harrison as a visionary, this is the same reason that I was always skeptical of the people that were like, oh my God, this is an NBA conspiracy. They trade Luka, and then all of a sudden, a few months later, you're going to be getting Cooper Flagg, bro, because you were just ignoring all of the events that led up to, or that were in between trading Luka and then getting Cooper Flagg. Like Zach said it there. AD and Kyrie only played one game together. They only played that one game together when Anthony Davis made his debut, because when AD eventually came back, that was after Kyrie already tore his Achilles. So if they're healthy that entire stretch, like they're probably, I don't know if they're a top 6 team in the playoffs, but I think they probably win a play-in game and probably like they were they did lose to Memphis in the game to become the 8th seed without Kyrie. That's also not to mention too all of the other injuries that Dallas had. You guys remember when we weren't sure that they could field an entire team, an entire roster for games? Like they just got demolished with injuries even before the Luka trade too, because Luka was obviously fighting a bunch of injuries this year. But Gafford was hurt. Lively missed a tremendous amount of time. Like Clay was hurt. Like there was a bunch of guys that missed time all year long, and all of that just led to like it's just incredibly lucky. This is all luck. Nico Harrison and the people that bought the Dallas Mavericks are the luckiest people in NBA history, or some of the luckiest people in NBA history, because all the events that led to them losing the play-in game, being in position to even be in the play-in game, for them to get the specific right odds to get Cooper Flagg, it is all time lucky, and it proves that there probably are no basketball gods in the world ever. With that being said, though, I kind of want to just leave this here because I thought this too, with this ownership group specifically, and obviously Nico Harrison, is that even though they draft Cooper Flagg, and he is going to be the next franchise player. I've talked about how much I love him, and I think his potential to be, a superstar in the NBA. Probably one of the best guaranteed, home run number 1 overall picks that we've had this century. It's honestly probably LeBron. Then, Wemby's still really young, but Wemby, and then Cooper Flagg's fighting for that 3rd spot. It might be AD. AD is probably number 4, but I think Cooper Flagg has potential to fight for that 3rd spot there. If not number 2. You have to, though, if you're Cooper Flagg or any other star that maybe plays in Dallas in the future, the way that they handled the Luka Doncic trade and they got rid of him, and the way that all of the people were talking about why they traded him in the aftermath and how none of it made sense, and we could poke holes in all of it, you have to, if you're a star of the Dallas Mavericks now or in the future, as long as these people are running this team, you always have to have somewhere in the back of your mind, I could get traded any day. I could get traded for anybody. I could be completely happy here. I could have just signed an extension. I could be making all this money. I could have just led the NBA in scoring. I could have just carried my team to the finals. I am not safe here. There is still that 1% chance that I might in the middle of the night be traded to Los Angeles or to Utah or to Orlando or to Toronto. There is still always going to be in the back of these guys' minds, hey, these guys traded Luka Doncic the year after he averaged 33, 9-9 and carried them to the finals. Like that's insane. That is an insane trade. It's still one of the worst trades in NBA history. It still is. It still is. And who knows how history is going to judge it? We don't know. The fact that they have Cooper Flagg now, and if Cooper Flagg is what I think he will be, it's not like we're going to see these tremendously terrible Dallas years that follow Luka being traded. And then, even if Luka is successful with the Lakers, if Dallas is still good and they even win a title with Cooper Flagg, we might not forget it. But I'm just telling you, in the moment right now, it's crazy. And we're comparing it to Babe Ruth. And even though Jason Kidd said it was cool, it ain't cool. You do not want to, unless you're the team getting Babe Ruth, like Luka's the Babe Ruth in that trade. He's incredibly, and here's the scary thing too for Nico Harrison and these owners. You let a fire under the boy. He's on a strict diet. He's on a strict exercise program, and good chance he's going to be winning MVP next year. He's going to be one. He was always a favorite to win MVP when he was smoking hookah and drinking beer, according to the people running the Mavericks. But if he's got his head on straight and he's taking this diet and exercise thing really seriously, watch out. Luka revenge season loading. All right. That's going to do it for this episode here today. If you like this episode, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment what you think about Nico Harrison, what you think about Luka Doncic, what you think about Cooper Flagg. Would love to hear all of your guys' thoughts. And feel free to check out other videos on the Sports Detective podcast channel page. And thank you for watching. We'll talk to you next time.